Hi, happy Friday. Today I am going to be making some cookies. I have a vendor show tomorrow and I also have one on Sunday. So when I go to those, I usually like to make some keto goodies, just because people are under the impression that you can't have any kind of cookies or cake or bread or any of that stuff if you eat a ketogenic diet. So I try to take that stuff to show them that you can. Not that I advocate eating it all the time or a ton of it every day, because then you're just going to end up back where you are. So I do make them just to show people that it can be done. And if you've been following me, you know that we are in the middle of a kitchen renovation. So as of this moment, I have no stove, I have no fridge, all I have is my island with a sink in it, upstairs. I am downstairs. This is my shooting studio for my photography business. Used to be our rec room. We had like a NASCAR theme or whatever, and then I took it over for the studio. So now I'm kind of taking it over for this. But all I have here is a bar, and on the bar I have all of our little appliances. I have a toaster oven, a coffee pot, a toaster, forming grill, a microwave, crock pot, electric frying pan, and a hot plate. So depending on what I'm making every day, I can either take that appliance up and cook it there next to my sink so I can wash everything, but as of tonight I won't even have a sink. That's coming out tonight or tomorrow morning so they can lay the floor. So I'll be doing everything down here with limited supplies, and I didn't think that through when I signed up for the vendor shows. So I am going to make cookies in my little toaster oven. So the first one I'm going to do is a peanut butter cookie. Now, I don't eat peanuts. I don't eat peanut butter. There's debate back and forth on whether they're allowed on a keto diet, so that is your personal choice. I myself don't eat them. What I do is I opt for the almond butter. And this is the one that I use. Whether you use almond butter or cashew butter or peanut butter, when you're making these cookies, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you get one that is totally clean. It's a ShopRite brand. They have Wholesome Pantry. I've also gotten it at Sam's Club, has a clean one, but you want to make sure that there's nothing else in it. This is dry roasted almonds and sea salt. There's no oil. It's just almonds and salt. And I believe they do have an unsalted version. So I think this one was cheaper. That's why I went with this one. So I already scooped it out. I'm going to do a cup of almond butter. These cookies are super simple to make. It's a recipe that I found, and I keto-fied it. It originally called for peanut butter, and I'm using the almond butter instead. And then the next ingredient is 1 cup of sugar. Now, we don't use sugar in keto, so I am using Splenda Naturals. They just came out with this a couple months ago. When you are using a sweetener, you have to watch the conversion ratio. Some of the sweeteners are 1-to-1 with sugar. This one is, I think it's a cup of sugar is a half a cup of this. So this is, 2-to-1. I've also used Truvia in the past, and this one is, I believe, a third. Yeah, it's right around a third. So, a third of a cup to 1 cup of sugar. So you just have to watch what you're using and what the conversion ratio is on it. And this is not the Splenda that's in the little packets. This is Splenda Naturals. It is an erythritol and stevia blend. So this is keto friendly. So I have a half a cup of that. I'm going to pour on the almond butter and 1 egg. And that's it. That's our peanut butter cookies. I'm going to mix it all up. These are, like I said, they are super simple to make. I usually get about 15 cookies out of the recipe when I make them. you know, depending on how big I make them, but usually 12 to 15 cookies. You just want to mix it until that egg and sweetener is completely incorporated. They're going to look a little dry, like a little sticky yet, but kind of dry. So if you could see that, that's ready to go. And then all you do, I have my little tray here, and it's lined with parchment paper. So I'm just going to roll out some balls, just like you do with regular cookies. And I forgot to bring a fork down, so we're not going to smash them down with a fork. But normally I would, but I didn't bring it down. Half of my stuff is upstairs, half of it's downstairs, so I'm definitely getting my steps in over the last couple of weeks, running up and down the steps trying to cook stuff. But I'm just going to roll these out. Yeah, I'm going to end up getting a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm making them pretty small because they're just going to be, I just want them to be like a little bite size for someone to try, you know. So maybe I'll do there. So I have 11 on here. Looks like I'll probably get about 25 cookies out of it. Oh, you know what? I have plastic forks right here. Let me see if that works. Smash these down. Okay, so I'm not pushing them all the way down because I don't want them to flatten out too much. So I just push them down a little bit, just enough to give them that, you know, that crisscross pattern that you're used to seeing on a peanut butter cookie. And they're not gonna flatten out a lot. They're not gonna spread out. So pretty much where they're at on the pan is how they're gonna be when you pull them out. So I could probably fit another one there. I'll put 12 on this tray. I already have my toaster oven set here around 350. So that's ready to go. It's been preheating for a couple minutes. Let me get one more on here, and I'll move these guys up. And put them in here. So as you can see, they have the little crisscross pattern. I don't know if you can see it through the video, but I'm going to stick them in my toaster oven here, and I don't have the timer down here, but we're going to go about 10 minutes and see how they are. This is probably going to heat a little different than my oven did, so after 10 minutes, just check them. You don't want them to get really hard unless you like them crunchy, you know, but I usually let them brown just a little bit, and then I'll pull them out. So it's been about 10-12 minutes. I've been watching them, and I already pulled out one tray. I threw another one in, and that one's been in there about 10-12 minutes. I don't know if you can see them, but they're just starting to get a little bit more brown on top. They're still soft, so you're not going to go by, you know, when they're hard. But they are starting to brown a little bit. I have no idea where my cookie sheets are, my cooling sheets. So they're just going on the bar right here. That pan is done. So I have 2 pans here. I'm going to crisscross these, and this will be my last tray. I did end up getting, these I made a little bit smaller, but I did end up getting about 36, right? I did 12, yeah. I ended up getting 36 cookies out of that recipe, which just means you get to have more if they're smaller. So 36 is a pretty good number for me. Like I said, they're for the vendor show. I wanted to make something that's easy, something I could put together quick. If I run out tomorrow, I can make more tomorrow night for Sunday's show. So I have these. I do have another cookie that I'm going to do. It's like a shortbread cookie. Usually when I make it, I put a whipped cream topping on it, and I'll put berries on top. So it's like a little, I don't know, like I don't know if you've ever seen the cookie my sister used to make them. They were like sugar cookies. They rolled them out on a pizza stone, and she always put like whipped cream on top, and then she would put fruit all over the top of it. But they're kind of like that, but keto, you know. So that'll be my second cookie that I make. Those are also very simple to make, and so if I get time, I'll do a video on it. It probably won't go up today, but maybe tomorrow or sometime next week. So that is basically it. I've got some cookies ready to go. I'll be making some more, and that's it. If you make these cookies, let me know what you think of them. I've done them with chocolate chips in them. They're Lily's chocolate chips. They're made out of stevia. I've also taken a chocolate bar, chopped them up and threw them in. You know, of course, it has to be super, super dark chocolate. I've also done cocoa nibs, so I've thrown them in, and I like them just plain. You could do chopped almonds, throw them in there, or cashews, or whatever, you know, whatever nuts you like, you could throw in there. But those are some, you could sprinkle the tops with some sweetener, but I don't think they need it. But let me know what you think if you make them. Bye.